Hello, this video is what I think about synchronicity. Somebody wrote on my profile or something and they wanted me to do a video about synchronicity because I mentioned synchronicity in the what I think about George Cavasalis video. I think I've already done a video, what I think about synchronicity, but instead of tell them where it is and go through the time of finding out where it is, I'll just make another video about it. I probably have more to say about it now anyways. Yeah, synchronicity is something that is kind of, I think, a keyword for the new age. It's something that Bashar, the human hybrid gray alien from 300 years in the future, 350 light years from here, likes to talk about. He says that's how aliens function in the universe. Aliens, who fly in and out of the earth, they just, and work with each other, they just do it. They just, they follow their higher selves and do what they want to do, and it just pieces together perfectly, and their lives piece together perfectly. They, that's kind of one of the characteristics of living in a higher dimension. It's where time doesn't really exist, and a manifestation of how time doesn't exist. It's kind of like living in the dream world. Like you're dreaming here that you're doing this thing, and all of a sudden you're in another dream. Like immediately, and that's because like when you want something, you decide that you want to do something, well then you do it. And that's kind of how we are actually starting to live in this world now. Like if we want to know something, we just go to the internet and we Google something, and then we can go to the Wikipedia article and we find out about it, we YouTube it, and we can find out, and we know immediately. We know everything we want. We don't have to like write it on a tab and then go to the library and then look up the library and order the book and wait for the book to come in, or like, email somebody, snail mail somebody, and then they mail you back, this kind of a thing. It's like instantaneous gratification, and so anyways, that instantaneous gratification will continue on into what we can't even imagine now, as far as even teleportation. I want to be somewhere, and then you're there, I want to be doing this, and you can do it, and you grab it. Like if I were to be like, I want to be mountain biking in Tucson, you could, with a really good, a country with a really good economy, you just jump on a plane, fly there, and then you can rent a bike because they're plentiful, and then you're biking the next day. It's kind of like that. So synchronicity, and like if you want to, mountain bike with somebody, you could get on an internet site and write, get on the forum and be like, okay, cool, I'll meet you there. Somebody wants to ride, or you go to the group ride, and there's group rides all over the place, and you do it. And, there's always, no matter what you do, no matter where you go, there you are, but no matter what you do, there's always people there doing it too, when everybody's active, and there's like as far as like in America, there's like, events, running events and sporting events everywhere all over the place. So you just go there and then you do it, and you meet somebody, and so you just have the idea that everything you do was meant to be like that, and it all worked out. And so I think it's good for us to like imagine our lives and as working in a perfect synchronicity. I mean, for me, like today I was riding my bike, and I got a flat, so I fixed it. Then I got another flat because there's cactuses all over the place. And then my my water bottle bounced out and I lost it. And then my pump bounced out and I lost that, and I'm running my bike down the road, and then some guy's like, hey, let me drive you to your car. So I just synchronistically ran past some dude who's like the owner of like a mountain bike tour company, who wanted to drive me back to my car that was like 5 miles away, and that worked out great. And as far as like not being superstitious about that, maybe like if you just keep moving forward, kind of like what Rocky Balboa says, just keep moving forward, you're always gonna bump into something that's appropriate for you, and actually I think that's even best for you and work out for you, because how Bashar talks about is like our higher mind, our higher self can see everything. Our higher self can see into the future, and so our higher self is always trying to nudge us into doing to helping us fulfill the dreams that we have to do, because we exist as a fragmentation of our higher self to fulfill a certain dream that higher self wanted to do, to come into this world and do something that it dreamed of doing in a certain way. And And so that means that it would definitely want to help you out, or your guides would want to help you out. So they help you out, and they give you those visions by sending you messages through your pineal gland, and just making you really excited about something, and you don't know why you're excited about it, and you want to dream, and you're dreaming about doing it, and you're thinking about doing it. You just follow your joy and your passion, and you do it because that's what your higher self sees, that's what you really want to do. And they see that if you do this one thing, then the next thing's going to happen, because they can see into the future, that's going to actually help you in the path of what you want to accomplish, even though you couldn't see that from yourself. Like limiting yourself and going, oh, but I don't have the money to do that. And so then I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to like save up money and then do it when I have, the proper tools. Maybe you should just do it with the tools that you have, and then, baby steps. And then, if that's what you want to do, if you're excited about doing the activity, not get caught up with your ego and wanting to, do it in style or whatever, and so that's synchronicity. Synchronicity is just listening to your higher self tell you what it wants you to do, and you don't know why you want to do it. It's like I want to be a mountain biker, so move over here and then mountain bike over there. But then you're like, oh, but I don't have a mountain bike. And then it's like, well, but if you want to go there, just go there and then use the bike you have. And then, well, I guess I'm talking about myself. And then you will have biked. And or I don't know, what's another example? Like a job. If you want to be a painter, then paint, and just paint with what you have, and you don't have to have like the best painting brushes. Actually, Bashar has a really great quote that I'll quote him. He said, the more you can do with less, the less you're going to need to do more. And he gave an example of a woman who really loved telling stories to children. So she did that for free, for fun. She just told stories to children, and eventually, because she loved it so much, she got more and more people to do it, and then she was able to charge money for it and get a job doing it, and now she makes good money just telling stories to children, because she just followed her heart. And she didn't complain that she couldn't tell stories to children, and then try to charge to tell stories to children like way too much, because she wanted that to be her job, and then when she couldn't get the money, that she just would give up. It's like, if you really want to do something, don't worry about the money and just do it for free, and then that'll kind of be your practicum hours. You can replace formal education, paying all this money on education. Instead of doing that, just do what you want to do. And then and more people, actually, our society's working that way. More and more people are hiring people from an internship position, or just people who have direct job experience, even if they don't have a degree. Then somebody who has the degree and graduated college and is like, here I am, it's kind of making college obsolete, and that's my prediction. College will be obsolete. College is going to turn into just a facilitator of practicum work and bringing people together, and not just people going there so they can get the degree, so they can get the job. So he also had another, Bashar had another quote or story of cavemen. When cavemen, they drew with sticks with the little charcoal burning off the top, and that's all they had, and they painted these amazing cave drawings out of it, and they were loving it. And all they had was sticks. So it's like, if you're a person and all you have is like 5 colors of crayons, because that's all the money you have, and like a notebook with paper, well, you have way more than those cavemen had. And that's kind of the way that I think now, is like, I look around, I see all these people with $5,000 29-inch mountain bikes, full suspension, and they're going way faster than me on these bumpy trails, and I'm here on this 20-year-old zero suspension 26-inch mountain bike. But it doesn't fluster me, because I just think I'm just thinking like how awesome of a life I had, you know, that I consider that I have according to the me from 20 years ago. You know, the me from 20 years ago didn't know about full suspension 29-inch wheel mountain bikes. The me from 20 years ago knew about the bike I have right now. And so I'm riding around and I'm having fun, and I'm just not comparing myself to anybody, and it's working out great. And, you know, eventually maybe I'll be able to, like, you know, if I keep my eye on all the deals on the internet, maybe I'll be able to get a deal on a nice bike and buy one, and, you know, and it'll all work out. You just have faith and do what you want to do. And I think that's how synchronicity works. In the higher realms, in the alien realms, you know, and everything, when there's opportunities everywhere for everybody, then you just do what you want to do. You just keep moving forward, and there's always, you know, in a really strong economy, and the economy's strong not because we have a lot of gold to base it off of or whatever. The economy's strong because everybody is always doing something. People are interested in all sorts of stuff, and people are always helping each other out for whatever money they can get out of it. They don't really care. They just want to help you out. They want to do their job and do their thing. And because of that, everybody's moving and busting their ass all day long. You know, not busting their ass because somebody tells them to, or like in a factory or whatever. Oh shit, my thing died. But they're doing it because they love to do it, and that creates a strong economy. And it makes everywhere you go, you've got stuff to do, and you can have a job doing something. A good example of that is like when I was in Korea. I arrived in Korea after their economic bust back in '98, and I was talking to like a bunch of Korean or American teachers who taught English in Korea, and they were teaching for themselves, and they were saying, and like all the American teachers left because of that, because they couldn't get money, get jobs, because they weren't taking classes because they didn't have the money. But they were telling me that even though there were no English teachers there, it was still harder to get English teaching job work there than it was when there were way more teachers there, because there was more interaction amongst the teachers, and they knew more students who wanted to take classes and stuff. So it's kind of like there's really no limit to how much we can get done and how much stuff we can do. If you're in a world with a really strong economy and people are always working on stuff, there's always something to do. There's always a job to have, and you don't have to and you can quit a job and do this job for a little bit and quit that, because you're always qualified to do your job because we all are educated enough to do whatever it is, you know. Like really, if you think about it, the idea of we'll only let you work for us if you give us like a 5-year commitment to be here, 55 weeks out of the year and only get 3 weeks off per year, because it's like, why? Because we need to train you and we need you to know what you're doing and stuff. And it's like, well, once I'm trained, I can take time off and I'm not going to forget what you trained me to do. I can come back and do it again. Oh, but the legal stuff, it's like legal stuff. What do you mean? Just change the laws to make it so that people can get a job, and just for like a month, even with the skill jobs, like if you're a doctor in a hospital, just be like, yeah, I like this town, I want to be here for a year. And they're doing that more and more, internships and people switching out. And once we have one country, one world government, people can move from country to country, and no tariffs and all this stuff. It'll work out great. And that's what synchronicity is. That's like you suddenly one day getting up and being like, I want to be in Hawaii surfing. Well then, quit your job and get a job doing whatever your skills are or you like to do over in Hawaii, because the culture allows it. And boom, next day you're skiing, and everything you need. But on the higher dimensions, in heavenly realms, it actually goes even beyond that. And it's like teleporting and doing this, and then it's always there. Everything you need is boom there, and it all synchronizes perfectly. And that's how the aliens live. They don't plan their lives. They just get up. They don't even sleep. They just do whatever they want to do, and then they're doing the next thing. And it sounds awesome. So that's what I think about synchronicity.